Markets crashing, banks failing, families losing their homes. A global panic, unlike anything we'd seen since the Great Depression. But this wasn't a hurricane or a natural disaster. This was man-made, a perfect storm of greed, ignorance, and systemic failure. Welcome to the Money Room. And today, we're diving deep into how the 2008 financial crisis happened, who was responsible, and why it still matters. To understand 2008, we have to rewind to the early 2000s. Interest rates in the U.S. were extremely low. Money was cheap. Banks were eager to lend. Enter the world of mortgages, home loans, and not just to responsible borrowers. Banks began issuing subprime mortgages, loans to people with poor credit histories, low income, or no financial stability. Why? Because they could bundle these risky loans into financial products called mortgage-backed securities, MBS, and sell them to investors all over the world. Even better, they built CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, slicing the loans into different tranches and selling them off with AAA ratings. Sounds crazy. It was, but everyone was making money until they weren't. As more and more people bought homes, housing prices surged. It felt like free money. Flipping homes became a national sport. Investors bought multiple properties. Families took second mortgages to renovate or invest. The logic? Home prices never go down. Except they did. By 2006, the housing market had peaked. Prices stalled, then began to fall. Suddenly, homeowners owed more than their houses were worth. Many stopped paying their mortgages. Defaults soared. And that's when the entire financial machine started to crack. As homeowners defaulted, mortgage-backed securities lost value. Banks holding billions in toxic assets panicked. In 2008, Bear Stearns collapsed. Then Lehman Brothers filed the biggest bankruptcy in U.S. history. AIG, one of the world's largest insurance firms, teetered on the edge of collapse. Credit markets froze. Banks stopped lending. Global trade slowed. The fear? That the entire global financial system would come crashing down. And it almost did. Panic turned to action. The U.S. government launched TARP, the Troubled Asset Relief Program, pumping $700 billion into the banking system. The Federal Reserve slashed interest rates and launched quantitative easing, printing money to buy government bonds and inject liquidity. Europe followed suit. China responded with massive infrastructure spending. In short, the world's governments went into emergency mode to prevent total collapse. It worked, barely. So who caused this disaster? Banks, for predatory lending and packaging toxic assets. Credit rating agencies, for giving junk AAA ratings. Wall Street, for betting big with other people's money. Government regulators, for turning a blind eye. But also, ordinary people. Many borrowed more than they could repay. It was a collective delusion, and everyone paid the price. The crisis left deep scars. Millions lost homes, jobs, savings. Inequality deepened. Trust in banks, governments, and capitalism itself was shattered. In the aftermath, new laws were passed. Banks faced more regulations. But did it really change the system? Here's the scary part. Some lessons were learned, but others were ignored. Today, debt is higher than ever. New bubbles are inflating in tech, crypto, real estate. The conditions may look different, but the psychology, the greed, the overconfidence feels hauntingly familiar. The 2008 crisis wasn't just a financial story, it was a human story of people chasing dreams, of systems breaking, of a world waking up to its own illusions. Thanks for watching The Money Room. If you want to understand money, power, and the world we live in, hit subscribe, because next time we won't just watch the crash. We'll be ready for it.